I would now like to invite our next three speakers on stage. First, we have His Excellence Kenneth Macartney, Ambassador of Canada to Sweden. Big round of applause and welcome on the stage. Our second speaker will be Mr. Jae-Hoon, President of KIAT, the Korean Institute for Advancement of Technology. Please welcome. And our third speaker is Mamohloding Tlhagale, Director of Strategic Partnerships of Department of Science and Technology, South Africa. Please welcome on stage. Hi. So first I would like to give the word to Mr. Ambassador. Please, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, bonjour, god morgon. It gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce Canada as a research, development, and innovation partner on the day that EUREKA has devoted to global collaboration on the Smart Cities theme. We're very happy about the attention given to EUREKA associate countries in today's program, and also about the strong delegation brought by Canada's National Research Council to this Innovation Week. In addition, we have a team of Canadian Trade Commissioners in attendance that are devoted to identifying areas of cooperation and collaboration across borders at our embassies around the world. Canada has long been a pioneer in science and technology, and Canada has a proud legacy of innovation and scientific breakthroughs, from the development of kerosene in the 1840s to Sir Frederick Banting and Dr. Charles Best's discovery of insulin in 1921, Bombardier's invention of the snowmobile in the 1930s, the development of the robotic Canada arm, integral to NASA's space shuttle program that began in the 1980s, the BlackBerry in the 1990s, and the first commercially available quantum computer in the 2000s, to name just a few. More recently, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Canadian professor Arthur MacDonald in December 2015. Along with the experiments done by his Japanese co-recipient, MacDonald's work at the Sudbury Neutrino Observatory lab, 2 kilometers under the ground in a mine, helped solve the neutrino puzzle, measuring this basic particle's mid-flight metamorphosis and determining that it has mass. In 2000, the Government of Canada created a permanent program that invests approximately 265 million Canadian dollars annually to establish research professorships and institutions across the country. Today, over 1/5 of the 1,750 Canada Research Chairs and all of the 22 Canada Excellence Research Chairs come from other countries. Beyond their skills and ideas, these world-class researchers bring their global networks and research collaboration to their work, thereby extending the breadth and depth of Canada's global ties. And I think the message that we just heard from Professor Schwag-Serger about the globalization of research very much resonates with Canada's experiences. And I would add that in terms of her message about breaking down the barriers to trade, the new Canada-EU Free Trade Agreement, which we hope will come into effect next year, will also contribute to the expansion of commercial and research collaboration between Canada and the EU. Canada's new Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has noted that innovation and adaptation are vital to create clean jobs, grow Canada's economy, and protect the environment. And our government has committed to creating a new innovation agenda for Canada that will expand support for incubators, accelerators, the emerging national network for business innovation and cluster support, and IRAP, the Industrial Research Assistance Program. EUREKA will continue to be an important component in Canada's innovation agenda. It's market-driven, industrial R&D projects bring together international participants from small and large industries, governments, research institutes, and universities to develop innovative products and services with tangible results and visible benefits. Since Canada joined the EUREKA network as an associate member country in 1912, more than 50 Canadian organizations have pursued innovative projects with 14 EUREKA members valued at over 50 million euros, so a very good beginning. This afternoon, you'll have the opportunity to learn more about the work being done in Canada on smart cities and to hear from an impressive delegation of Canadian firms and organizations about their expertise and strong interests in collaborating on projects. We're particularly pleased that the Mayor of Montreal, one of Canada's leading cities and hubs for research and development, will give the keynote address. Over 81% of Canada's 36 million citizens already live in urban centres. Although cities are engines of economic growth, rapid urbanization is not without its challenges. Canada is focused on developing infrastructure monitoring, maintenance and durability, efficient transportation, renewable energy solutions, waste management, reduction of pollution, water access, and local production of food. Cities of the future will need to manage growth in a way that is smart and sustainable. The Canadian delegates here today are well aware of these facts and are generating ideas to manage these urban developments and challenges. Members of Canada's National Research Council have worked diligently to arrange a program that I'm convinced will be of interest to all EUREKA participants. And so I encourage you to take the time to learn more about what Canada has to offer. Global collaboration has become a competitive necessity as innovation is a critical driver of an increasingly global economy. And so with this final thought, I'd wish you all very well, a very successful week of collaboration. Thank you very much. Merci.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, and we're really looking forward to all these exciting seminars this afternoon, and that's the reason why we don't take in questions now, because there will be plenty of time in the afternoon to ask all the intricate questions that I guess you have. The next speaker now is Mr. Jae-Hoon Chung, President of KIAT. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today for the Global Collaboration Day, organized for the first time and dedicated to EUREKA associate member countries. I'm honored to be among all of you here and to be representing the Republic of Korea among such a distinguished audience. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Swedish EUREKA Chairmanship and the whole EUREKA team responsible for organizing this event that will reveal numerous horizons for international technology exchange. It is also a pleasure for me to see representatives of the other two EUREKA associate countries, Canada and the Republic of South Africa. Korea joined this esteemed network as an associate member in 2009 by signing the partnership agreement during the 21st session of the EUREKA Ministerial Conference in Lisbon, Portugal. It was the first non-European country to do so. Ever since that, we have held the annual Korea EUREKA Day event jointly with the respective chair country. Over the last 6 years, more than 820 technology collaboration matchmaking meetings between Korean and European researchers have been recorded, which is a sign of a degree to which the network between the two sides has already been expanded. Accordingly, the Korean government's interest in R&D has increased. The government has implemented effective support policy measures, such as mid to long-term investment strategies and is exerting all efforts to enhance R&D technological capacity of domestic enterprises. Thanks to such diverse government support, research institutes and small and medium-sized companies' technological capabilities that have already attracted attention from Europe and all over the world will be further strengthened. Canada and the Republic of South Africa further joined EUREKA as associate member countries in 2012 and 2014, respectively, thus contributing further to technology exchange and network expansion. The three associate member states are the technology powerhouses representing Asia, North America, and African continents. I believe activities between the three countries will fast surpass simple information exchange and will have great impact. Convergence of technology capabilities developed in different continents and in different cultural environments will result in new synergy based on diversity and creativity. Making the most of the opportunity provided during this Global Collaboration Day, I hope that the relationship between associate countries and the EUREKA network is further enhanced. Exchange between Korea, Canada, and South Africa invigorated, and a truly global network is established. I'm aware that this Global Collaboration Day event is dedicated especially to EUREKA associate countries' technology exchange with all EUREKA members. I wish Canadian and South African events taking place today every success, and I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to come and meet delegation of Korean researchers and the industry academia representatives that came all the way from Korea for Korea EUREKA Day 2016 this afternoon. Once again, thank you very much to our Swedish host for bringing us together today. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chung. And now we will hear from our South African representative, Mamohloding Tlhagale. Please, the floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I've been introduced, I'm from the Ministry of Science and Technology, South Africa, Director for a Strategic Partnership. This is the unit that is responsible for facilitating, promoting, and coordinating South Africa-EU cooperation. Just before I start with my presentation, just to firstly thank the organizers for providing us, the associated country, with this session to can introduce our beautiful countries, and also the afternoon sessions where we will be giving more details, pitching the projects of our researchers that are with us here. And then to mention that most of you may know that South Africa has a science and technology agreement with the European Union since 1996. And that science and technology agreement is the one that helped us, for example, as the keynote speaker had said, to see South Africa high on the map of the 7th Framework Program collaboration. But we also have several bilateral agreements with the different EU member states, which followed this 1996 agreement. And of course, we are a proud member of the EUREKA network since 2014, and we recently joined Eurostars this year in March. So we're hoping that through EUREKA and Eurostars we'll be able to really pursue or facilitate industry collaborations between South Africa and the member countries. So my presentation will then cover, just to let you know who we are as South Africa geographically and economically, share with you how was our science system before our democracy in 1994 and what happened post 1994. Just a brief overview of the policy development with regards to science, technology, research, development, and innovation. And then what we're trying to do now, because what we're trying to do now is to build a science, national science innovation system, which is really R&D-led industries. I'll just try to share with you what is our thinking policy-wise and what we are putting in place to show that, to make sure that we achieve that. And lastly, just to share with us what we believe is our knowledge and geographical advantages, which you should be collaborating with us on. We are in the southern tip of Africa, surrounded by the two beautiful oceans, Atlantic and Indian. We have a population of around almost 55 million people, most of which, of course, are females. 9 provinces, 11 official languages, so we are a very diverse country. We have 3 capitals, one in Pretoria for the administrative, Cape Town legislative, and Bloemfontein for judicial. The statistics that I'm trying to show down there, I just thought that it will be important for you to see who are our most partners with regards to import and exports. Although it's a 2012 stats, of course, you'll see that China is in the top of the list for both export and import. We've seen the statistics and the developments of China from the keynote speaker. We also have Germany, US, Saudi Arabia, and India, either as part of our exporters or importers. So what has happened then in South Africa is before our democracy, we had a science system that was fragmented, that was mainly populated by white males. It was not trying to address the national challenges that we had. It was not talking to the national priorities. It was still underfunded, and it was mostly focusing on the military and the energy sector, and not really covering other areas or priority areas that could be of national importance. And then since 1996, we then developed what we call the Science and Technology White Paper, which with that we were trying to see how we can develop this national system of innovation and break the silos where things are just fragmented, not properly coordinated, underfunded, and all those things. We then after that, established things like the National Research Foundation, which is responsible to provide funding for basic research in our country. There was the department, the Ministry of Science and Technology initially was within what we call the Department of Arts and Culture, Science and Technology. But after the white paper, it was very clear that we need a special dedicated Ministry for Science and Technology for us to be able to achieve what we're planning to achieve, hence the establishment or the separation of the Arts and Culture, Science and Technology in 2002. We have a national research and development strategy, which then in there we're trying to establish what will be the priority areas for the country, looking at our national and geographical advantages. When you go further down the line, you'll see that we once had a review by the OECD, and the review of the OECD, they were trying to check the South African science system in 2007. One of the things that they've picked up with the weaknesses were things like the quality of our education was not too good. There was a lack of research and development capacity, starting from the researchers themselves, the government that manages the research and so forth. There was really a lack of R&D capacity in the whole system, and insufficient entrepreneurial and technological skills that are required to take the research products into the market. But they also picked up a few good things about our system, such as the political awareness and buy-in in research and development, which makes it easy, because if politically is accepted, you can then get a lot of resources. They've also picked up that there was a strong resource-based industry in South Africa, and the business expenditure on R&D was actually higher or contributed more to the gross expenditure of R&D, which was a good thing. We had then in 2008 established what we call the KIAT Technology Innovation Agency, which is now looking at helping our innovation or our private sector to take the research into the market, while the National Research Foundation focuses on basic research, as I've said. We have established the Intellectual Property Right Act because we have realized there's lots of intellectual property issues, challenges. Our entrepreneurs, our innovators need assistance with that. And in 2008, the 10-year innovation plan. In this innovation plan, then we identify specific challenges that we call grand challenges, which is really the areas that South Africa will be focusing on going forward. We have a national development plan, which is a national document, of course, done by our presidency. It also mentioned the importance of science and technology as a cross-cutting factor for the country to move into an economy that we want to move into. So you can see that there's a lot of policy developments that has happened since 1994. And there's a slide that is missing. In that slide that is missing, I was trying to now show you what we think, how we're going to build our R&D-led industry development, and with the vision of increasing the well-being and the prosperity of the South African citizens. We have identified specific factors such as aerospace and space, advanced manufacturing, chemicals, minerals and mining beneficiation, advanced metals, ICTs, bioeconomy, health innovation, energy, water and waste management, and others. So those are the priorities that we think we're going to be focusing on as we roll out this industry, R&D-led industry development, with the government trying to put all the resources in place to support our innovators. We will identify who will be the champions for this, rolling out this plan that we're having. We have the Ministry of Science and Technology that works together with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. So with this R&D-led industry development plan, we will try to harmonize all the national funding instrument or support instruments, and also try to leverage industry R&D investment and try to increase it. And with a long-term objective of really trying to increase the sector contribution to our GDP. Of course, the outcomes that we're looking for, it will be new products, new markets, industry growth, increased R&D, and we're seeing technology stations, technology localization, sector innovation fund as one of the cross-cutting factors that will help us to implement this plan that we have. So as I've mentioned, so therefore the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Trade and Industry are working together, since we are responsible for the innovation value chain in South Africa, with us starting from basic research until just end of the development, and they take over to make sure that whatever is done is taken into the market. And then what do we have to offer as South Africa? I mean, you have seen all the developments that we really try to achieve. I think it's a very good policy and technical developments that we've managed to achieve in a short space of time. So what else do we have? We have the rich biodiversity in South Africa, plants, animals, microorganisms that your researchers could have access to if they partner with us. Our geological formations are incredible. Sky-free non-natural radiation. Most of you are very familiar of the square kilometer array, the SKA that we've won and hosting. So we have a lot of space that has no interference, and astronomy and cosmology then can have opportunity working in those areas. Ecological sites are very good. Antarctic research, indigenous knowledge and deep mining experience and expertise, that's what we have in our country. We have a large diverse population, as I've said, so for things such as the clinical trials for the health innovation, you'll be easily, be able to have a large pool of people that you can use for the clinical trials and the studies, especially to study the diseases, of course, that are also of importance to South Africa. And then with that, I thank you very much, and I would like to also just encourage you to please come and attend the South African session in the afternoon. We have brought here about 10 innovators from South Africa, mostly from the private sector, and also the universities and science councils, who will be pitching the project ideas ready for submission to EUREKA. So all we're looking for is partners who can collaborate with them. Please attend our session in the afternoon. And once again, thank you to the EUREKA organizers for making this session for us, associated countries, especially the afternoon session, because we'll have more time to engage and to network with the rest of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Tlhagale, and thank all the speakers for very inspiring introductions. And I hope everyone is now excited and have made up their mind on who to visit this afternoon. Now we've come to the end of this session, and we have reached a very important part of a Swedish conference. That is fika, which is the Swedish word for coffee break. And just as in every part around the world, you know that the coffee break is where you get all the useful information and all the necessary context. So I encourage you all to go outside. But as you go outside, please don't forget to visit the exhibition, which is now open, and you can see all the exciting projects and organizations that are represented here. So go outside and have yourself a good cup of fika, and we'll meet back in this room at 10:50. Thank you very much.